Behind the opulent facade of the imperial court lies a dark and often untold tale, the life of a concubine after the emperor's demise. While their existence during the emperor's reign may have been one of privilege and power, their fate takes a tragic turn once the ruler takes his last breath. In this video, we'll delve into the depths of the post-emperor era and expose the harrowing realities faced by these women, shedding light on their struggles, isolation, and the heart-wrenching uncertainty that defines their lives. The fate of the concubines after Qianlong's demise. Emperor Qianlong's death in 1799 set off a cascade of events that would forever alter the lives of the concubines residing within the opulent walls of the imperial palace. The news of his passing reverberated through the Forbidden City, shrouding its magnificent halls in an atmosphere of both anticipation and anxiety. Qianlong had been an indomitable ruler, guiding the vast Qing Dynasty with an iron fist and unwavering determination. Under his reign, a multitude of concubines had been amassed, each vying for his affection and favor. These women, hailing from diverse backgrounds, had come together in their pursuit of prominence within the imperial court. As whispers of Qianlong's demise reached the ears of the concubines, a profound mixture of grief and trepidation washed over their hearts. For many, the late emperor had been their sole source of power and protection within the palace's gilded confines. With his passing, they faced an uncertain and precarious future, their destinies hanging in the balance. The court, ever diligent and devoted to their departed sovereign, swiftly commenced preparations for the mourning rites and grand funeral ceremonies. While the concubines were barred from active participation in these solemn proceedings, they were expected to mourn fervently within the confines of their own quarters. Confined to their chambers, their once vibrant garments were exchanged for somber robes of mourning, and their elaborate coiffures gave way to unadorned simplicity. As the days stretched into weeks and the designated mourning periods neared its end, the fate of the concubines teetered on the precipice of uncertainty. Jiaqing, Qianlong's son, ascended the throne, heralding a new era fraught with unpredictability and transformation. The reign of the new emperor would shape the destinies of these women, defining their roles and prospects within the imperial hierarchy. The concubines waited anxiously, wondering if the new ruler would maintain the traditions and customs of his father or usher in a new era of reform. Jiaqing's reforms, concubines, and court under control. Jiaqing became the emperor after his father, and he was strict and conservative. He wanted to make changes to reduce the luxury and extravagance that was common during his father's rule. One important change Jiaqing made was to reduce the number of concubines in the palace. He thought there were too many concubines, so he wanted to have more control and limit their influence. He started a strict process to choose which concubines could stay in the palace. They were judged based on their looks, intelligence, and ability to have children. The concubines knew their positions were at risk, so they tried hard to become important. They worked on their appearance, studied poetry and literature, and tried to show how smart they were. But for many of them, it was sad because they were not chosen to stay in the palace. They lost their titles and privileges and had to leave the palace to live in obscurity. The ones who passed the selection process had to live in a palace with new rules. Jiaqing made strict rules and controlled the extravagant lifestyles that were common during his father's reign. The concubines had to be modest and careful in everything they did, and the people in the palace watched them closely. The concubines couldn't compete and indulge in luxury the same way as before. They had to live a more disciplined and simple life. They were not allowed to show off their wealth and had to be more restrained. Jiaqing wanted them to focus on being good people and learning rather than just looking pretty. Even with strict rules, some concubines still found ways to have influence and navigate palace politics. They made plans and alliances, using their intelligence and charm to gain favor and power. Behind closed doors, there were rivalries and secret actions that affected how things worked in the harem. Concubines' resilience, power, sisterhood, and an uncertain future. Despite Emperor Jiaqing's strict rules, the concubines displayed remarkable adaptability and resourcefulness. They skillfully formed alliances and engaged in subtle power plays, maneuvering to safeguard their positions within the palace. A select few even succeeded in captivating Jiaqing's favor, becoming influential concubines who wielded considerable sway over his decisions. However, alongside the challenges they encountered, the concubines discovered solace in the unique sisterhood they cultivated. Within the palace's opulent walls, they forged deep bonds, offering each other unwavering support and cherished companionship. As the years unfolded, the concubines bore witness to the gradual decline of the mighty Qing Dynasty. External pressures and internal conflicts besieged the empire, ultimately leading to its collapse. The cataclysmic events reverberated within the palace, forever altering the lives of the concubines. Some managed to escape the confines of the Forbidden City, seeking refuge in the outside world. Once powerful and influential, these concubines now faced an uncertain and anonymous future, their destinies irrevocably intertwined with the shifting tides of history. Emperor Qianlong's death and the concubines' loss of identity. The impact of Emperor Qianlong's death on the concubines' identity and value is profound, magnifying the loss of autonomy and individuality they had already experienced as members of the imperial harem. Prior to the emperor's demise, these women had already been regulated to the status of objects, chosen solely for their physical attributes and ability to please the ruler. Their worth was destined by their beauty and their ability to secure the emperor's favor. However, with the emperor's passing, the concubines are confronted with an even greater loss of identity. The ruler they once served as symbols of power and desire is no longer present, leaving them adrift and purposeless. Their personal dreams and aspirations, which may have been overshadowed during the emperor's reign, are now rendered insignificant in the face of the shifting power dynamics within the court. In the absence of the emperor, the concubines are subjected to the whims and expectations of the ruling elite. They become pawns in a treacherous game, where their every move is dictated by those in authority. The rigid system within the palace confines their choices and freedoms, leaving them with little agency over their own lives. Deviating from the prescribed roles and behaviors can result in severe consequences, further diminishing their sense of autonomy. The loss of the emperor also disrupts the hierarchy within the harem itself. As the concubines vied for the emperor's attention and favor during his lifetime, his death introduced a power vacuum that bred uncertainty and competition. They must navigate this new landscape carefully, forging alliances and maneuvering to secure their positions in this shifting power structure. The impact of Emperor Qianlong's death extends beyond the loss of identity and autonomy for the concubines. It reverberates through every aspect of their lives, from their personal relationships to their societal standing. They are left grappling with questions of their own worth and value in a world that no longer revolves around the emperor they once served. The transition brings about a sense of displacement and a struggle to find new meaning and purpose in the ever-changing landscape of the imperial court. The emotional toll on Emperor Qianlong's death on concubines. Emperor Qianlong's death had a profound impact on the emotional and mental health of the concubines, plunging them into a world of emotional turmoil and psychological trauma. The sudden loss of the emperor, who may have been their only source of emotional support and stability in a world of isolation and competition, left them shattered and bereft. The concubines found themselves grappling with a range of intense emotions, including profound sadness, overwhelming loneliness, and a profound sense of abandonment. The death of the emperor not only severed their bonds with him, but also shattered their dreams and hopes for a better life. The once privileged existence they had known, though fraught with challenges, suddenly felt empty and devoid of purpose. The grandeur and opulence that once surrounded them now served as a painful reminder of what they had lost. The isolation they experienced was further magnified as they were confined to their chambers, separated from their families and any semblance of a normal life. Cut off from the outside world, they were left to navigate the complex and treacherous palace environment alone. The absence of companionship and emotional support exacerbated their feelings of despair and loneliness, further eroding their mental well-being. Within the palace walls, the concubines faced ongoing power struggles, constant fear of retribution, and a pervasive atmosphere of stress and anxiety. Their ever-present uncertainty of their positions and the constant threat of being displaced or replaced heightened their psychological distress. They lived in a state of perpetual vigilance, never knowing who they could trust and constantly second-guessing their every move. The cumulative effect of these experiences often led to the development of severe mental health conditions among the concubines. Many suffered from anxiety disorders, crippling depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. The oppressive environment they inhabited, coupled with the loss of identity and autonomy, took a devastating toll on their psychological well-being. Their spirits were crushed under the weight of their circumstances, and the once vibrant and hopeful individuals were left broken and emotionally scarred. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Remember to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share the video.